Shalom, brothers. All praise to Yahweh Bashim Yahushua, and peace and blessings to all you brothers out there doing the work. This is Zakaria from Man of Jacob here in Dallas, and we just had a little something we wanted to put on camera. Something I was reading the other day. Actually, it started from an article that the brother Yashawamba sent from I believe it's called Cracked.com, and it was the title of that article was 6 Ridiculous Lies as concerning the contribution of the Native Americans to the American society. Now, I read that article, and another related article is what we have now. And this article is going into how the Gadites, so-called Native Americans, had really the Constitution really came from them. It wasn't some grand idea of George Washington. They got that directly from the so-called Native Americans. And I'm going to start reading from the article. Is called American History Myths Debunked. And the myth is no native influence on founding fathers. And you know who the so-called founding fathers are. You know, George Washington, blah, blah, blah. Okay, in lie number 1, like I said, the title of that other article was 6 Ridiculous Lies. And lie number 1, Crack.com takes an umbrage with the false notion that natives had no influence over modern America. And obviously they do, because if you can, like, the states are even named, cities are named after so-called Native American names. I believe Minnesota, Iowa, Utah, a lot of the names of states come directly from their language. You know, I think even Dallas might be a word from their language as well. I could be wrong about that. The part that we found interesting was they wanted to dispel the myth that the United States Constitution was a lightning bolt of humanity and genius with ideas on governance. There are governance unknown. And they call this a myth, and we agree. And this site is called Indian Country. And Indian Country obviously is saying, yeah, we agree with that. That's a lie. You know what I mean? To say that the Gadites had no influence, that's a complete lie. And I just gave you a prime example of how they named their states. The so-called white man named his states after their language, you know, and after himself as well. They say this is a myth, and we agree. Crack.com digs into how the U.S. Constitution owes many of its novel notions on democratic government to the Iroquois Confederacy. They quote from Senate Resolution 331 from the 100th Congress in 1988, and I went ahead and got a printout of that resolution, so we're going to go into that in just a second. But I'm going to read a little further in this article, in which the Senate acknowledges the confederation of the original 13 colonies into one republic was influenced by the Iroquois Confederacy, as were many of the democratic principles which were incorporated into the Constitution itself. In further parsing of that resolution, we find the Senate's stated purpose was to acknowledge the contribution of the Iroquois Confederacy of Nations to the development of the United States Constitution. It came directly from the so-called Native Americans.
I got something real quickly. Okay, go ahead. This is Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 5, verse 1. Then shall the righteous man stand in great boldness before the face of such as have afflicted him and made no account of his labors.
That's right. Go ahead, brother. Break that down.
Yeah, I'm saying, because the so-called white man, the Constitution, as much as they try to hinge on that and throw it up in your face and all that, it's clearly telling you that they got that from somebody else. You know what I'm saying? The way they were stealing lands and stealing heritages and stealing inventions and all the stuff that they steal, they say that they came up with it. When you can obviously go back into history if you do the proper digging of the spirit working with you to find out otherwise. You know what I'm saying? And they're not going to tell you that the Constitution or the idea for their Constitution came from the Indians, from the so-called Indians, and that's why they don't make account of our labors. They just take our ideas and take them on for themselves, and then just go from there.
That's right. It brings new light to the scripture that reads, "Jake is the former of all things."
Right.
Israel's.
We even created the Constitution. You even got the idea of your Democrat and all that. Democrat, well, you know, a lot of that came from the Greeks and the Romans. But the actual idea of the Constitution as concerning freedom for all people, which is they try to hinge on that being the greatest article ever created by man. And then who do they have standing next to it that created it? George Washington, Ben Franklin. They don't have Standing Bear standing there, Littlefoot standing there.
No, none of that.
No, they don't have
voice, nothing.
That's right. I'm going to go on a little bit more. The resolution name checks George Washington and Ben Franklin as being two notable constitutional framers who were known to have greatly admired the concepts of the Six Nations of the Iroquois Confederacy.
Hold on. Read that last line again. They greatly admired what?
That's right. George Washington and Ben Franklin as being two notable constitutional framers, like I said earlier, the founding fathers,
Go ahead.
who were known to have greatly admired the concepts of the Six Nations of the Iroquois Confederacy.
Everybody knew who they was watching. You know what I'm saying? Because when they came over here, the so-called natives had to teach them everything. How to carry yourself, how to clean yourself, how to feed yourself, how to do all these things. So the reason why they was watching them so hard is so they would be able to take over. They was casing the joint. You know what I'm saying?
That's exactly.
They was casing the joint. Go ahead.
That's exactly. One of these concepts, the Great Law of Peace, was especially significant and inspirational to the founding fathers. The Great Law of Peace, which really to us is the scriptures.
Right.
The Iroquois, I guess that's some sort of document that they had, and then the Constitution was just directly taken from that for the most part. Crack.com cites a 1987 conference held at Cornell University on the link between the Iroquois government and the United States Constitution, entitled The Iroquois Great Law of Peace and the U.S. Constitution. Convened by the University's American Indian Studies program, some 200 scholars examined scholarly and historical evidence that the Earth's oldest democracy isn't the United States of America, but rather the Six Nation Confederacy of the Iroquois. So they just took everything they had and took full credit for it and said, "Hey, this is ours."
Yeah.
And not only we gonna take it, we're gonna wipe you out.
Yeah. And here goes some turkey.
We're gonna wipe you out.
Here, take this turkey with you.
And I'm gonna read this last part of this argument. We're gonna jump in there, and I got some scriptures for that as well. When the first Europeans swept into the northeast of the New World, far from finding an organizational blank canvas on which to create a brand new system of government. See, they try to make it seem like the so-called Native American was over here with a spear in his hand, and that was it.
They was over just, they was just over here just
running in circles.
Yeah, nah, man.
They had their own government running.
They had cities. They even said that they even had a highway system that was going from, I want to say it was at the northeast part of North America. Northwest part up around like we'll say Seattle, Washington area, that you could travel. They had highways going all the way down into Mexico and all the way up into Canada. And this was before the concept of a highway.
Right. They had money. They had coins with their faces on them. Yeah.
I'm gonna start at the top of that. When the first Europeans swept the northeast of the New World, far from finding an organizational blank canvas on which to create a brand new system of government, it should be part of the curriculum for students in the Americas to understand that they instead encountered a highly organized, very powerful alliance of six nations that controlled a giant expanse of territory from the St. Lawrence River south into Pennsylvania and to west into Illinois. The Iroquois League was and still is the oldest participatory democracy on earth. Now, like we were saying, they just completely robbed the so-called Native Americans, so-called Seminole Indians. They just completely robbed them and designed their whole lifestyle on that. And that's not nothing new, because they did the same thing with the southern tribes. They calling themselves the Jew.
Yeah.
They calling themselves Benjamin.
I'll say the thing about it, they had a system going. It was a government. It was a governing body and everything. That was the northern tribe. The northern tribe was over here, even though they was being wicked. They was over here living for a long time before before Esau brought his ass over here, man.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
That's right.
And they had the system, because when you just listen to the history, as far as they teach it in school, they'll make it like the so-called white man coming over here and taking down the so-called Native Americans and all that took like 2 weeks. No, it was a calculated. You know what I'm saying? They planned it. They strategically planned it. From when Queen Isabella and King Ferdinand sent that Christopher Columbus, when they sent his behind over here, man. All of that was going into taking over this land, stealing these concepts, and building up their own thing. And that's exactly what the mother effers did, man.
If you notice, that's how Esau always does things. He, like the brother said earlier, he always cased them out. You'll have it to where who was that when Antiochus, so he already knew, you know, about us, you know, the hell he put the Jews through,
Right.
you know what I'm saying? So, you know, he just go through there ramshacking, you know, but he was very, you know, careless and proud, like many, you know, Edomites are. That's their nature. That's how the Most High set them up. But if you, like from Cecil Rhodesia, a place that was colonized by Edomites, you know what I'm saying? That place, Rhodesia, is named after Edomite. He colonized it, put them people through hell, raped them for their resources, man. And it's shambles. That's why Africa, all parts of Africa look like it looks, from even from the 1500s on to the 1800s for the Judah, where Jake was on, you know, in West Africa, along with them. You had the Portuguese, the French, and the British, and they colonized, you know, and then they went in for the kill, along with them Hamites, and then, you know, the diaspora, you know. That's how them heathens do. But the worst of all is Esau, man. They case the joint, colonize, and ramshack.
Yep, that's right. Okay. Did you have something you wanted to add?
No,
Go ahead and hold that.
Yeah, I got Psalms
12 and 10.
Okay.
55 and 21.
And if you want to bring it out now?
Yeah.
I'm gonna call for yours.
okay.
Go ahead.
This is Psalms chapter 55, verse 21. The words of his mouth were smoother than butter, but
Smoother
war.
than butter, but like the scripture says, war was in his heart. He came over here. Now, like the brother said, it wasn't just they just came and conquered. No, and when they got here, they couldn't even make it through the winter.
Right.
The so-called Native American had to guide them through it.
Yep.
From the beginning, it was from a distance. But you know how Jake is.
Right.
You know, now they all over there. They cooking for him, cleaning up after him. Now those are the first handmaids.
Yeah,
First,
man.
you know, the first janitors.
Form of all things.
Oh, man.
But they were, you know, they allowed themselves to be comfortable with it, which they never should have did.
Right.
Now, albeit it had to happen according to prophecy, but just for what we're talking about, if they wouldn't have done that, there wouldn't have been smallpox. There wouldn't have been all those diseases that killed more of the so-called Native Americans than any of the wars did,
That's TDE.
than any Gatling gun did.
Right.
They killed our people off by the disease, because the so-called white man is like he's just a virus. To be around him is to be around death. To allow him into your life is to allow death into your life.
Right.
You know?
And that's what Eve did.
Go ahead.
The words of his mouth were smoother than butter, but war was in his heart. His words were softer than oil, yet were they drawn swords. So the whole time, they knew what they was gonna do. They knew exactly what they was gonna do. And even according to the lies that they tell you at school, how he was looking for something else and just happened to run into America. All that is all BS, man. That's all BS.
Christopher Columbus didn't even come to America. He didn't even come to America.
Yeah.
That's lie number 2. We'll go into that another time. I believe that might have been what the brother Yashawamba sent to me. But that's just another lie that was told. He didn't even land over here.
Yeah, he landed. Well, I want to say it was farther down.
The islands.
West Indian Islands.
Get all the way up.
You
Yeah.
had the so-called the so-called Puerto Ricans, which Ephraimites, which were called Taino Indians. They were already there, man. They
Arawak,
yeah, they're already there, and you already know the atrocious things, you know, that Christopher Columbus did. But yet, you know, in a society held up to a great statue, you know, a renowned person, which is, you know, he's a vile asshole, man.
Yeah, that's why we got a holiday. All right.
What I'm reading from is House Congress Resolution 331, and I'm gonna start. You can take a little pick a shot at the article. I'm not gonna read the whole thing, but it's easy to find. Just type in House Bill
Show it again now.
Resolution 331, and you'll find it. Good.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna read from page 2. And whereas since the formation of the United States, the Congress has recognized the sovereign status, and they were never sovereign status of Indian tribes, and has, through the exercise of powers reserved to the federal government in the Commerce Clause of the Constitution, dealt with Indian tribes on a government-to-government basis, and has, through the Treaty Clause, that's a key word, through the Treaty Clause, entered into 370 treaties with Indian tribal nations. And we all know they broke every last one of those treaties, like the brother was saying earlier. If you want to speak on that.
Yeah, that's all them treaties they had, man, they never kept one, including with Andrew Jackson. You know, when they like, okay, you know, he'd give them time to. Well, basically, that was what's that in Florida when that went down. They gave because everybody knows the Native Americans were set up like the brother was saying. They had their own communities. They'd be like, okay, we'll let you keep your land. We'll let you do that. That didn't happen. You don't see, and if you do see Gad, they drunk off their ass, or you know, something on little bullshit reservation, or you know, got some type of ownership in the casinos, which is ran by the mafia and so forth. So yeah, man, they broke every last one of those, man. And those are a lot of treaties to break.
And they have full intention on breaking them.
Yep.
They shake your hand the whole time. War was in their heart, like the scripture the brother read.
And so, like, can I say this right quick? You notice how much of a devil Esau is. You took your time to state each in all 370 treaties.
Yep.
Just to state it, just to set it up, just to set Gad up for the kill.
Yep. Worded it a certain way where it sounded legit.
Yeah, you took your time with that what's that Solomon Winthrop, that Barry Inc.
Yeah.
you did that just to set Gad up for the kill. Man.
All right. Whereas the first treaty whereas from the first treaty entered into with an Indian nation, the treaty with the Delaware Indians of September 17, 1778, the Congress has assumed a trust, responsibility, and obligation to Indian tribes. And I said trust. And I call for a scripture, Sirach 12 and 10. It's something that you can never do with the so-called white man. You can never trust anything that he said. And this is a prime example. 370 treaties. That's 370 lies, just bold-faced lies to those people, right? Like what they say, have your fingers crossed behind your back. That's what he was doing every time you shake your hand, but he had his fingers crossed behind his back. I know it's simple, but that's how his mindset was. Okay, we'll give you everything you need. We'll share alike. But the whole time, he was plotting on taking them out. He was getting infected smallpox blankets and passing them out to them on the guise of, hey, well, this will help y'all through these cold winters. Just take these.
I want to say like they need that when they helped your ass through the cold winters.
Right?
They helped you through the cold winters.
Well, at that time, the so-called Native American was being just ravaged by sickness from the white man. So they were sick and they were real feeble from that. And here he comes with infected blankets to make you even more sick. Right? Get that. Sirach 12 and 10.
Ecclesiasticus chapter 12, verse 10. Never trust thine enemy, for like as an iron rusteth, so is his wickedness.
He's always gonna be wicked. He's always gonna be wicked. It ain't no, well, he might change, he might have changed, or this time he's different, or this and that. He's always wicked.
Right.
It may take a matter of time for you to see it, but it's always there. So never trust the so-called white man. Just never.
I got something real quick for you. This is Psalms chapter 58, verse 3. The wicked are estranged from the womb.
That's right.
They go astray as soon as they be born, speaking lies.
And that's how speaking lies. That's what the white man does. He's just lying to the whole world. He's saying I'm the Jew. He's saying I made the Constitution. He's saying I'm the Benjamite. I'm Asher.
Yeah.
I'm the last samurai.
I'm Gad.
You know?
Yep.
He's saying he's saying he an African. He's saying he the Egyptian. The so-called, finish that up, brother.
Their poison, verse 4. Their poison is like the poison of a serpent. They are like the deaf adder that stoppeth her ear.
And that's a perfect example to use, a serpent. Because he got that forked tongue.
Yep.
He got that forked tongue. He's saying, he's saying one thing, but he's meaning a whole different thing. He's saying peace, but war is in his heart. You got more on that?
That was it on that.
Okay.
You have something?
Did you want that? Psalm
Well,
62?
Go back to Sirach 12 and 10.
Okay.
Read through 12.
Okay, come. Though he humble himself and go crouching, yet take good heed and beware of him.
And that's what he did. He humbled himself and went to them and said, you know what, we're gonna share, and we're gonna, this is gonna be a nice treaty, and it's gonna be you and us, and we're gonna be together, and we're gonna form this whole union, and you can have your land, and we can have our land, and everything will be peaceful.
Right.
But the whole time he was plotting on how to take you out.
Yep.
You should have never trusted the so-called white man. Hold that right there. I'm gonna read some more of this. Whereas this trust responsibility calls for Congress to exercise the utmost good faith in dealings with the Indians. Now, there was never good faith
No fidelity.
in dealing with the Indians. There was never good faith. Never one time. All those treaties that we named broken.
Right.
Every single one.
Yep.
Keep reading on that.
Yep.
Unless you have something to say.
Oh no. And thou shalt be unto him as if thou hast wiped a looking glass, and thou shalt know that his rust hath not been altogether wiped away.
That's right. The wickedness is there. You may have thought it went away, but it's there.
Right.
And it'll come out.
That's right.
It always will. Just like rust on iron, it's always going to come.
Yeah.
It's just a matter of time. It may come faster this week on this piece of iron than it did on the other one, but it's always going to be there. Whereas the judicial system of the United States has consistently recognized and reaffirmed this special relationship, now, therefore, be it, and let me see, the Congress, on the occasion of the 200th anniversary of signing the United States Constitution, acknowledges the contribution made by the Iroquois Confederacy. If they acknowledged it, how come this isn't public knowledge? Now, I'm not saying this is the first time it's ever been brought out, because I'm pretty sure this information has been brought out before, even in the truth. It's just, how come it's not well known? How come I can't stop a person on the street and they know that, well, the Constitution came from the Native Americans?
Yeah. But they know that this so-called came from them devils.
They have it in their Constitution that they owe credit to the so-called Native Americans, but they don't admit it in a school book.
There it is.
They taking all excerpts. They taking all excerpts out of school history. They still talking about removing slavery from history. Hell, which y'all really don't go into depth on that. Jake came over here in boats and chains. That's it.
Yeah, they say something about saying slavery was like an internship, an unpaid internship. But they was equating that to the Jakes that came over here on them cargo slave ships, trying to say that was an internship.
How is that an internship? Because America wouldn't have been nothing without those people that came on those slave ships. Now, how is that internship? Because they speak on it as it was already great. You just helped it out a little bit. It wasn't shit until the Judah, Benjamin, Levi, and so on, all the tribes were down there picking cotton. And the cotton industry created pretty much America today. The tobacco industry, sugar cane in the southern America. Right? Now, how is that an internship? Don't worry about it. You're going to pay it back. Don't worry about it. Acknowledges the contribution made by the Iroquois Confederacy and other Indian nations to the formation of the development of the United States. The Congress also hereby reaffirms the constitutionally recognized government-to-government relationship. There wasn't no government-to-government relationship with the Indian tribes, which has been the cornerstone of this nation's official Indian policy. A little bit more, we're going to jump right back in. The Congress specifically acknowledges and reaffirms the trust, responsibility, and obligation of the United States government to the Indian tribes, including Alaska Natives, for their preservation, protection, and enhancement, including the provision of health. Now, how is they're saying in the Constitution that the health of the Native Americans was their concern, but they gave them blankets with smallpox,
Right.
kill it,
And other diseases.
right?
That's right.
Now, how is their health a concern? That's all a lie.
Yeah.
Education, social, and economic assistance programs as necessary, and including the duty to assist tribes in their performance of government responsibility to provide for social and economic well-being of their members and to preserve tribal cultural identity and heritage. And we'll end it on that. But this whole thing was just to show that the soul, like it says in Sirach 12:10, never trust thine enemy. Never trust him.
Right.
He's always going to backstab you. He's always going to go back on his word. He's never been truthful from the beginning.
Right.
Cain
Yep.
was never truthful. Esau, as concerning dealing with Jacob,
Right.
never truthful. Are you finished with Sirach?
Did you?
Well, that's good. Jump to that other scripture. I think Psalm 60. Unless you got a
Yeah,
precept.
I got something. Real quick. This is real.
Yeah, but that's just like in 12 Years a Slave. They had that one scene, that one random scene where they had the camp that Solomon Winthrop was with,
Yeah.
and they just rolled up on them Gadites. And nobody said a word to each other. They just looked at each other like,
Yeah.
damn, y'all over here now? Or damn, y'all over here too?
And then they
You know what I'm saying?
they cut the frame real quick, and now they all dancing and happiness in
Yeah.
brotherhood. Cause Esau know that those are brothers.
Yep.
They know that they were brothers.
It just automatically clicked with them. That was one of the most random 30 seconds in a movie I've ever seen.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But them people that go to show you that they know, man.
They rejoiced.
They know.
In that movie.
Man.
They were rejoicing. You ready, brother?
Yeah, go ahead.
This is Psalms 118, verse 8. It is better to trust in the Lord than to put confidence in man.
That's right. Go ahead, brother.
And that's plain. That was this brother always made a good point. You know that movie 12 Years as a Slave, through the spirit of Yahweh Yahushua, it is somewhat of a tool to stir up Jake. But if you notice, throughout that movie, Jake was looking to Esau. They was looking for him to save him, man. And that movie suppresses people. I mean, Jake. It shows you that who your oppressor is, and how you're suppressed, and how low they thought of you, and how low they still think of you. But nothing's being done. Ain't nobody rioted. Ain't nobody shot up no movie theater over 12 years as a slave. Because for one, Yahweh Yahushua he's taking his time. He's taking his time and molding and directing this movie still. But it's gonna be a lot of mayhem, man.
That's right.
So it's gonna be a lot of mayhem. But even to all you brothers in the truth, you gotta put trust in Yahweh Yahushua. And you see what happened to Gad. You see what happened to Solomon Winthrop. You see through the stories in the scriptures when they put trust or became Hellenists.
Go back to Sirach chapter 12, and read down from where you left off at.
Okay.
Started like 11 or 12 or something. Like that.
11.
Yeah. Because it's gonna get to a point to where the Most High done put it in your face so much between these scriptures that we read to this that was written aforetime for our learning. It's account after account that's telling you not to trust them. So when you do trust them, you end up like Solomon Winthrop. You know what I'm saying?
Northrop.
Whoever, whatever. Him. His ass. Go ahead.
You want to start at 11, brother?
Yeah.
Okay, Kyle. This is I'm back in Ecclesiasticus chapter 12, starting at verse 11. Though he humble himself and go crouching yet, take good heed and beware of him.
Right, go ahead.
And thou shalt be unto him as if thou hast wiped a looking glass, and thou shalt know that his rust hath not been altogether wiped away.
Right, just like with Solomon. North, is it Northrop or Winthrop?
Northrop.
Oh, Northrop, sorry.
Solomon Northrop. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He let them devils convince him that they was gonna make a whole lot of money and kick it. He woke up in slavery. You know what I'm saying? Because he
Getting his
trusted.
ass whooped
You know what I'm
first
saying?
morning.
But the reason why he trusted him, is because he trusted the so-called white man that was in his free world. You know what I'm saying? The world he was living in before he went into slavery. He trusted them. You know what I'm saying?
And then what was presented to him? he got to live better. That's how they always get Jake. That's how they get Jake in the entertainment world and athletes. You know, you get this house, get the fly women, get the Bentley. That eventually in 7 years in whatever industry you on the newspaper broke.
Yep. Go ahead.
Set him not by thee, lest when he hath overthrown thee, he stand up in thy place.
That's what I'm saying. Don't be all up under that so-called white man like that. You know what I'm saying? Because next thing you know, he gonna be Israel. He gonna be the last samurai. He gonna be the Prince of Persia.
The last Mexican.
You know what I'm saying? The Mexican.
He's a Muslim.
Yeah, go ahead.
Neither let him sit at thy right hand, lest he seek to take thy seat, and thou at the last remember my words, and be pricked therewith.
Yep, go ahead.
Who will pity a charmer that is bitten with the serpent?
That's what I'm saying. Who gonna pity somebody that stick their head in a lion's mouth? Who gonna pity somebody that decide they want to kiss a King Cobra? You ain't gonna pity that person because you was told. You was told. You done seen how lions and boa constrictors get down. You know what I'm saying?
If you weren't told, you know through common sense.
Right.
This nigga's gonna bite me. He bit everybody else.
Yep.
That's what he does.
That's right. Go ahead.
Or any such as come nigh wild beasts.
Yeah, that's all I wanted. But yeah, that's what I'm saying. So for Solomon Northup, you can imagine how them other slaves felt when he rolled up. They was like, what you trusting him for anyway? You know what I'm saying? And that's the way it is.
Nigga,
That's the
you
way it
had
is.
freedom.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You had freedom and blew it.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? You had something we trying to get. You know what I'm saying? But that's all I had on that. You know what I'm saying? As far as trusting in your enemy, man. You trust in your enemy, you gonna get bit, man. It's never failed.
Yeah. Now, obviously you don't trust in the so-called white man. You don't trust in man in general. Who do you trust in? You trust in Yahweh Bashim Yahushua, point blank. Now I'm saying that to those who are given that name and given that understanding. As you already know, trusting in the so-called white man will lead you right where you are, sitting on the bench talking about how much you want to get out of this kingdom. That's where you'll be. Right? Not following the laws, statutes, and commandments of the Lord, you'll be on this bench.
Right.
Crying out to the Lord, come save me. And that's where we at. If we would have done what we were supposed to do, it wouldn't be this way. But so be it, right?
Yep.
Now we know that we need to trust in the Lord with all our heart, with all our might, and that's it.
Yep, because we done seen what happened when you don't.
Right?
Period.
Go ahead.
This is Psalm 62, starting at verse 5.
Read through 8.
My soul, wait thou only upon God, for my
Wait only upon Yahweh. That's it. Don't trust in the so-called white man. Don't trust in the welfare program. Don't trust in Section 8. Don't trust in none of that stuff. Now, like, if you have the opportunity to be able, if your funds are low from whatever job you have, if you have the opportunity to be on government assistance, I'm not saying don't do it. What I'm saying is don't put all your trust in that system. If it goes away, it goes away. If they start to say you're gonna have to take the chip, then I just won't be on government
I'm done with free
assistance.
food.
Then, the Lord gave it for these few months or this year or so, and that was it. Because now they're asking for the chip to have it, so I'm out.
Can I say this? That's a perfect example that you brought up. They taking money out of people's shit now. They just started yesterday. They said people not gonna realize it, but it's gonna start when you can't eat breakfast like you want to, when you can't eat lunch. They said people gonna be eating 21 less meals a month now. You know what I'm saying? Like 36 ain't a lot, but in today's society and economy, when you ain't got no money, you ain't got nowhere to be. 36 coming out some free assistance, that's hurting.
If you had $136 for food stamp, I would say about 30. Those $36 would go to the meat, and everything else, would be covering vegetables, fruits and vegetables,
That's right.
blah blah blah.
That's right.
Right. But now if you got that $100, hey, you hurt.
Yeah.
Cause you're gonna have to buy that meat. And that meat is usually the most expensive for a month worth of meat. If you're doing it right. If you're doing it right. Jake buying candy bars.
And soda.
If you're doing it right, you're gonna spend at least about $40 out of that $100
That's right.
on meat.
Yep.
Right?
That's right. You're gonna wash that down. You're gonna wash that down with some old mess.
That's right. Now, even if you being, we'll say, health conscious, you buying water, right? For that month, it's gonna be at least $20.
Yeah.
We're buying like gallons of water. It's 5 here, 5 there.
Them $4 cases of water that we
Right?
can get. Yep.
If you buying soda, you out anyway. Soda,
You need to kill yourself. You need to buy some bullets.
you out anyway.
But you can't get bullets with food stamps.
Yeah, not yet. The nigga woman got a paint job for a car with a. But go ahead.
And a butt injection.
Go ahead.
Ready? For my expectation, let me start over. This is verse 5. I'm in Psalm 62. My soul wait thou only upon God, Yahweh, for my expectation is from him. He only is my rock and my salvation.
That's right. The Lord is our rock. The welfare system isn't our rock.
Right.
Egypt isn't our rock, like it says in Isaiah 30:1-3. We don't trust in Egypt. We don't trust in Egypt. We trust in Yahweh Bashim Yahshua. He will provide what we need.
That's right.
And that's it, and that's that. Go ahead.
He is my defense. I shall not be moved. And God, Yahweh, is my salvation and my glory, the rock of my strength and my refuge.
That's right. He's the rock of our strength. He is the power that we have to keep going.
He is.
To keep going and to understand that we are on the right track. Now, will you be saved? That's to be seen at the end of the movie. But he knows all, and we know that if we keep faith in him and follow his word, then we have a chance.
That's right.
And you also have to be an Israelite.
That's right.
You throw that in.
An elected Israel.
Right? Throw that in. Go ahead. You done on that?
No. Let's go to 8.
Yeah, but read through verse 8.
Is in God, Yahweh. Trust in him at all. Trust in him at all times. Ye people, pour out your heart before him.
Pour out your heart before him, and that's how you'll survive in these times. But 2/3 niggas ain't gonna do it.
Nope.
2/3 coons, 2/3 tomahawks ain't gonna do it. They're gonna continue to trust in this white man, and they're gonna continue to have that iniquity poured all over, that oppression poured all over.
That scoff at brothers on the highways and byways bringing out this word. We run across a lot of Gadites, through the spirit, and you can just tell, straight up by their features.
And like the scriptures say, since you trust in oppression, stay there. Go ahead, go that way. You're gonna deal with everything that comes with that. Trust in the white man, you're gonna get everything that comes with it. Go ahead.
God, Yahweh, is a refuge for us, Selah.
That's right.
And that Selah is to take it's like a moment. It means like, just to take a moment, just to reflect on,
That's right. Trust in the Lord. Don't trust in the white man. Don't trust in the so-called white man.
And don't trust in yourself, because you ain't nothing.
Yeah, also that's what Sirach said in chapter 4. Trust in the Most High, and he'll fight for thee.
That's right.
Trust, strive for the truth unto death, and he'll fight for you. You don't get no better than that.
Trust in the white man, and he'll kill you.
Exactly.
Trust
And
in
then
Egypt,
say he you. He'll kill you, and then say I'm Yatazak.
Yeah. Now he got earrings with jade and feathers, right? Now he got the pyramid, the pharaoh hat on.
Oh man.
Right now he got the garment with the border of blue and the fringes.
Now he got on the skinny jeans and with the dreadlocks and the lip ring and shit. But that was
that's all I got. If y'all got something else to
all I
add.
had to.
All right, well, Yahweh Bashim Yahshua, rock a thumb to all you brothers, and we hope you was edified. Shalom.
Shalom.